This is a 5-minute beginner's guide for Chrono Warden Preservation Evoker in M+. Run these talents, which you will find in the video description. In terms of stats, aim for a mix of haste and mastery. Your most often used spell is Echo. A player with Echo on them will also be affected by the next healing spell you cast, even if that spell did not directly target them. If it did though, the Echoed player will be healed twice. You can also use Echo on multiple targets before casting another heal, which means that all players with Echoes applied to them will be healed. Generally, you want to use Echo before all of your healing spells. However, Echo requires Essence, which is your main resource, and you therefore cannot use it infinitely often. Another way to apply Echo to your team is via Temporal Anomaly, which shoots out an orb of bronze magic, buffing each teammate hit with a weaker version of Echo. For sustained healing, you have two major abilities. First, use Temporal Anomaly to apply Reversion to your group. Reversion is a heal over time effect, and targets affected by Reversion receive 10% additional healing from all of your healing spells. Therefore, always keep Reversion on your party. Second, Dream Breath is an empowered spell, which does some healing up front and then applies a heal over time effect based on empowerment level. As a rule of thumb, you do not want to empower Dream Breath, so always cast it on level 1. For spot healing, you have several options. First, cast Echo and then Reversion. Reversion triggers Golden Hour, which heals your target for 15% of the damage taken over the last 5 seconds. Combined with Echo, this is very powerful and will heal them for 30% of damage taken. Second, use Echo Verdant Embrace to apply a strong heal. Be careful though, as Verdant Embrace will make you fly toward your target, so make sure that it is safe. Third, cast Echo and then Chrono Flame at your target. Do that in particular when you have a Life Spark proc. If you do a good job of keeping Reversion on your team, you have those procs very frequently, as each Reversion tick gives you a chance of triggering Life Spark. If you ever struggle with someone taking too much damage, you can use Time Dilation, which transforms 50% of damage taken into a 10-second damage over time effect. For group healing, you have two main abilities. The first is Spirit Bloom, which heals 4 targets when fully empowered. In contrast to Dream Breath, you always want to fully empower your Spirit Bloom. Spirit Bloom is your most important ability and you want to use it as often as possible. Second, casting a fully empowered Fire Breath at your enemies will give you 4 stacks of Leaping Flames, which means that your next Chrono Flame will hit 4 additional targets. You can then shoot these 5 Chrono Flames at your teammates for a big group heal, especially when you also have a Life Spark proc. One word on your most important talent, Lifebind. Lifebind is applied to yourself and to your target when you cast Verdant Embrace. All healing to either player then also heals the other for 40% while Lifebind is active. Note that you can also apply Lifebind to multiple targets by using Echo. For big AoE damage events, apply Lifebind to your group and then cast your group healing spells in Spirit Bloom or Chrono Flame while Lifebind is active. Your main healing cooldown is Stasis, which stores the next 3 spells you cast in it and then releases them when you press Stasis again. Aim to store Spirit Bloom, Temporal Anomaly and Dream Breath in your Stasis. You also have access to Emerald Communion and Rewind. Communion is a strong heal for yourself and it heals 1 additional player when you are at full HP. However, you should use Communion while Lifebind is active on your group, which makes it a very powerful heal for everyone. Rewind is your panic button, rewinding 66% of damage taken by your party in the last 5 seconds. Finally, use Cauterizing Flame to dispel curses and especially bleeds in this season. Also, every 2 minutes you have access to Tip the Scales, which makes your next empowerment spell instant cast and gives you a decaying 30% haste buff. Use Tip the Scales on cooldown. As an evoker, you have access to some powerful defensives in Obsidian Scales, which reduces damage taken by 30%, as well as Renewing Blaze, which heals back 100% of damage taken over the last 8 seconds. As a group defensive, you have Zephyr, reducing damage from AoE events by 20%. For dealing damage, cast fully empowered Fire Breath on cooldown and otherwise just spam Chrono Flames at your enemies whenever there's nothing to heal. You can also use Deep Breath on AoE pulls, but be careful that you don't die while flying. There's much more to discover about Preservation Evoker, and if you want to dive deep into the spec, check out my advanced guide here. Like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you really liked it and you want to see more content like this. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching everybody and see ya.